I would like to start by asking you to take a moment and consider the following statistics. There is a group of U.S. citizens that make up roughly 12% of the working age population, but they total more than half of the entire population living in poverty. Students within this group graduate from high school at rates 20% lower than the rest of the U.S. population. And only 32% of working age people in this group are employed, compared with 73% of all other Americans. And what if I told you this group is largely invisible and rarely, if ever, mentioned as a marginalized or disenfranchised segment of the population? The group I'm describing to you is the over 35 million Americans with developmental disabilities. My problem of practice is the low levels of civic engagement by the developmentally disabled population and the resulting lack of attention and support from elected officials and policymakers. It should be understood that this group's kitchen table issues are broadly similar to ours and many others, such as housing, healthcare, employment opportunities, but very different as it relates to their individual and family lives. Yet, the voice of this 35 million plus community of U.S. citizens is rarely heard in either narrow or broader discussions of public policy. And that is because groups and segments of the population only have a strong voice in their local community or on the national stage when their vote in local and national elections have the force to affect the results. But only 1 of every 5 developmentally disabled citizens regularly vote, and they have not been empowered to coalesce around common goals and vote as a coalition to elevate issues to improve their quality of life. Based on what I've just described, I am proposing for my dissertation to use the Clark and Estes gap analysis as the theoretical framework to 1, explore and understand this group's knowledge and motivation gaps related to voting in elections. 2, the environmental factors that influence their voting behavior. And 3, produce organizational recommendations to support voting by citizens with developmental disabilities. I would employ a mixed methods approach for this study, using survey questions to capture the opinions and experiences of members of this community. The qualitative phase will utilize semi-structured interviews to contextualize and give deeper meaning to the beliefs, awareness, and external factors impacting their voting behavior. The analysis of this primary data, contextualized via a thorough review of secondary data sources, will be used to develop models that recommend the knowledge, motivation, and organizational support structures to build greater civic engagement and electoral participation by citizens with developmental disabilities. And it should be stressed that members of this population can vote, should vote, and need to vote. Expressing their opinions at the ballot box and advocating for their needs through civic activism is the critical path to equity and inclusion. And please allow me to leave you with one more statistic This group lives in poverty at more than twice the rate of the rest of the population. At its heart, I would offer, this dissertation is about human rights, human dignity, and self-determination. Thank you for your time.